We move on to Cincinnati Bengals at New Orleans Saints at Caesars Superdome in Louisiana. Well, heading back to Louisiana spark Joe Burrow. Bengals have averaged 21.6 points per game, and Burrow sitting here with 9 touchdowns and 5 picks. Not very good. Let's start with the line history here in Bengals Saints. And what a wild, you touched on that Saints Seahawks game. We'll touch on it again here, but that was just some wild action in that one. This opened up with the Saints as 1.5-point dogs. It has not moved. They're 1.5-point dogs here at Pinnacle. Juice hasn't moved either. There has been a 9-cent move to the over. 43.5 minus 106 is now 43.5 minus 115. There we go there. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one, Bengals Saints. And here we go. 5,737 tickets in, and it's all Bengals money. Look at this. I know the sample size is very small here with 5,737, but 89% of tickets, 99% of the cash. Let me do a little refresh and see if that, that just sounds crazy. But that's where it is. All of the early action has been on the Bengals, and the market is not moving, or the line is not moving. 54% of the tickets and 74% of the cash on the under. 54 and 74. And what is the total done? It's gone a 9-cent move to the over. So confusing, conflicting information, also a small sample size. The Bengals coming off the 1917 loss at Baltimore. All 3 of Cincinnati's defeats have been on field goals on the final play of the game. That's just wild. Burrow 24-35, 217 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Hayden Hurst led receivers with 6 catches, 53 yards and a nice touchdown. Jamar Chase got 7 for 50, and T. Higgins went without a catch and left with a left ankle injury. Mixon ran the ball 14 times for 78 yards. Bengals got 3 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, and Von Bell had a pick. Saints coming off that wild 39-32 home victory over the Seahawks. They put up 444 yards of offense, with 235 of it coming on the ground. Andy Dalton, 16-24, 187 yards, a touchdown, and a pick, but Taysom Hill was the star. He threw 1 22-yard TD pass, 1 for 1. He ran 9 times for 112 yards, 3 touchdowns. He returned kicks. He was incredible. He's the 3rd NFL player since 1970 to rush for 100 yards and 3 TDs while also passing for a score. Kamara was a monster. Returns from his rib injury, runs 23 times for 103 yards, catches 6 passes for 91 yards. He did lose a fumble. Saints were missing Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry, and now it looks like Chris Olave will – we don't know. He's in concussion protocol right now. Marshawn Lattimore left with an abdomen injury in the 4th quarter that needs to be looked at. Take it away for us here, Andy. Bengals Saints.
Yeah, this is the game I have probably the least bit of a read on. Like, the Saints have been a weird team. We've had multiple injuries all over the place. You're playing with their backup quarterback who's well past his prime, and they just go and, honestly, they should have beat the Vikings. That was a game that they probably should have had. They deserved a little better there, and they put up a shitload of points. Like, how is this offense doing this? I guess Taysom, and I've said that for many, like, even when he was quarterback, he was quarterbacking, and they put him out at receiver, and he caught something in the flat, and like, there was a little corner that wanted no part of tackling him. Like, he's a menace in space. Like, I love that they're using him finally as, probably his strength. So if they incorporate that and Taysom's playing well, Olave comes back, I guess it's a scary offense down the road, but I don't know if that's super repeatable. They do get home here against a team that's been pretty up and down. I guess it depends how you feel about this pass rush for the Saints. It's been, I don't know, pretty below average as far as I'm concerned. I think the Bengals, that's the biggest thing, is if the Bengals aren't getting pressure against Burrow's been fine. Higgins is banged up, but they still have pretty good wide receivers. Jamar Chase hasn't got a lot of buzz this year. It was every week last year he did something. It was some, wild catch or some big game. It's been pretty low key for him this year. So if this, Saints pass rush continues to be poor, I think the Bengals are live to do something. But yeah, these numbers are pretty nuts on for me. I think I'm fine with either of these, and I pass hard on this game because I really don't understand if the Saints can keep this up with the amount of injuries they've suffered, and if the Bengals are truly just hard regression from last year.
Yeah, good points. An interesting point from Birdie too. Not Flush Allen, what up, my man? Birdie says, "Do the Saints have their O-line back yet? No bet yet." in this, but I will most likely be on the Saints in some capacity on Sunday. And he says this stagnant line is very telling in his opinion. I'll be very interested. I mean, this is crazy with the small amount of tickets in, right? It's Tuesday night, 5,700 tickets in, but it's all on the Bengals, and we're not seeing the market move towards them. So I will definitely be keeping my eye out for that. There's DX Filer in the house. All right. T-Max says, Cincy get right spot, but Orleans off a win and motivated makes it a tough spot. Okay. And Wick says both teams are above average. LSU fans going to support Burrow. And Perfect Rotation says, how does this game not go over?
What up, DX Filer?
Okay, let's roll on.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe we're prisoner of the moment. We've seen this offense have 2 good weeks in a row. Yeah, and the Bengals defense is not top 10, but they, I have them as it's a middle of the pack defense, honestly. And like, what are they gonna have to stop? They're gonna have to stop Kamara, and I don't have them as a terribly good rush defense. I don't have them as it's a decent pass rush. It hasn't been special. It's definitely above average. Coverage unit has been okay. Like, I think they're going to be able to cover all right, but maybe that's what we're seeing here. We've had a banged up wide receiver core against a good coverage unit, but yuck. Yeah, yuck with this one for me.
More information to get in this spot. Let's move on.